Welcome to AUSL Softball. We are in Oklahoma City for the closer of a two-game series. It was all Chicago yesterday. Skylar Wallace and company helping obliterate the Spark by the final of 14-0. And another sweltering hot day in Oklahoma City, getting ready for some more softball. We welcome you in, Pam Ward, along with Natasha Watley, two-time Olympian for the United States and everybody's All-American as a shortstop. Nicole Mendez will join us shortly. And anybody who loves offense must have loved what they saw from Chicago yesterday.
Yes, the theme of this series has been the Bandit Bats. They have absolutely ignited their offense. And yesterday, they went off, and it all started at the top of the lineup with Skylar Wallace leaving the yard in her leadoff at bat. 3 home runs on the day for the Chicago Bandits, and they just were swinging it. They were squaring up to the ball. They could not get out. 6 doubles, an AUSL record, and just from top to bottom, they were electric.
13 hits, 9 of them went for extra bases. The 14 runs scored tied an AUSL record for the most runs scored in a game, and they won big. And today, Oklahoma City badly needs a good outing from their starter, Maya Johnson.
Yeah, Maya Johnson, she's the only pitcher for the Spark to have a win against this Chicago Bandit lineup. And she has been the steady leader in the circle as a rookie for the Spark, so it'll be up to her to kind of set the tone.
Yeah, former National Pitcher of the Year at Belmont, taking them to a couple of NCAA appearances. And no rest for the weary. The first person she faces is Skylar Wallace, who has just gotten back from the Japan Diamond League. 2 home runs and a double yesterday. And you just look at that lineup. It is just absolutely stacked. They will be missing Aaron Koffel. The shortstop is taking a day off for rest, so Skylar Wallace will be back playing short, which is her natural position. She had been in the outfield.
Yeah, and just Skylar Wallace, so versatile, right? Just showing off her athleticism yesterday. Yesterday she was in center, but definitely I'm sure she'll be happy to be a little bit more comfy at shortstop.
Handled at second by Kirsten Roos, who was signed as an injury replacement. Let's go down to Nicole Mendez, as OKC's got to try to figure out how to slow down Chicago's bats.
Well, that is the question, Pam. How do you slow down the Bandits' offense? I got to talk with Spark, their coaching staff, and what they were saying before this game is the focus with Johnson is mixing speeds and maximizing their pitches across the zone. They felt like yesterday they made it a little too easy with the free passes for the Bandits to be able to get a hold of some balls. And so with Johnson, the focus is attacking early on.
Yeah, and definitely you can already see the adjustments made from the Spark. With Wallace, they started her off with dropping curves. Yesterday, Jalen Ford, Maddie Penta more up in the zone. So that's going to be key, mixing speeds, mixing eye levels. But definitely, I think if they can keep the ball down in the zone, they'll have some success.
And Nicole talked about the free passes, and we just get one here as Sammy Williams was hit by a Maya Johnson pitch. 4 Bandits were hit by pitches yesterday, and then you bring that on with all of the hits that we talked about. It was absolutely a one-sided affair. But Maya Johnson, again, this is a team that's lost 3 of 4 to Chicago, this year, and Maya with the only win. And those were her numbers in a 9-1 victory. It certainly helps when you get 9 runs, but she held Chicago to just 1.
Yeah, and that's going to be the key today, is just limiting these bats. Not giving free passes is a big thing that we saw yesterday for sure.
Mac Barbara, rookie out of Texas A&M. Big day yesterday, 3 for 4 with an RBI single and an RBI double. Back playing first base, gets away from Delaney Wiz, and that allows Williams to get to second base.
And you see Delaney Wiz behind the plate, and as of late, we haven't seen her. We've seen Haley Lee behind the plate, but you see Maya Johnson working more down, more drop, so Wiz going to have to be a wall back there.
Full count, and that's right up the middle. And coming in from second, Sammy Williams gets Chicago on the board first. Another run driven in for Barbara.
And Matt, Barbara, I said this yesterday, she is on time. She is seeing it so well. That is the 5th time we have seen her hit it up the middle yesterday. 4 of her hits hit up the middle. She had 3 hits yesterday, but just on time, squaring up to it, and classic, perfect hitting adjustments that she's making.
Barbara had missed some time and actually was a late signee, was playing for Team Italy in tournament in Prague, along with teammate Bella Dayton. Morgan Zirkle is the cleanup hitter. Veteran playing center field. A run in and just 1 away. Zirkle had an RBI double yesterday. Chicago with an AUSL record 6 doubles yesterday.
I'm just like gap to gap, and again, the wind is blowing out today, but the wind was blowing out yesterday as well, and so the wind was working in their favor, but they were just squaring up to it and looked really good at the plate.
That is sent into left field. Good catch by Sydney McKinney. A little bit of a snow cone to retire Zirkle. McKinney just back as well into the league.
Yeah, just these balls are coming off so hard, but the wind again is blowing, and so for the outfielders just making hard reads, that's a tough catch right there, but that is a huge out for the Spark.
Now Mary Jacopo, who yesterday taking off and stealing second, Barbara. Actually, Clements is pinch running, pardon me. I said, that didn't look like Mac. That's because it's not. Pardon me, that's Jessica Clements coming into pinch run and steal a base.
Yeah, and Jessica Clements has good speed. UCLA Bruin, and gets herself in there and gets a stolen base on the day.
Had to get that Bruin reference in. But back to Jacopo. Yesterday, she was hit in the jaw by a pitch, and you see she's got the full face gear on today, had a flap on it. And her face is swollen. She's got quite a bit of makeup on it. Otherwise, you'd see the discoloration. But just DPing today, just DPing. She's usually a catcher, but that's a tough kid to play with your jaw like that.
Mary Jacopo is just one of the toughest athletes in this league, and if anyone's going to get hit in the jaw and come back the next day and have at-bats, it would be her.
Oh my, another free pass. Johnson walks Jacopo to start things off. 4 Spark pitchers played yesterday, and none of them were dazzling. In fact, the bullpen of Penta, Vaughter, and Gould, their numbers not good. 2 1/3 innings. The bullpen, 11 runs, 9 hits. No strikeouts. They faced 18 batters. And as a team, yes, Chicago yesterday was 13 of 26. They hit 500 as a team. And after an 0-4 start, we've seen the turnaround. Now Jocelyn Erickson, who's doing the catching today. The Bandits are blessed. Jacopo caught yesterday, and Erickson, who was a National Catcher of the Year a couple of times at Florida, the University of, able to step in and catch.
And just on both of these teams, just so many versatile athletes. Erickson obviously is a catcher in college, but had her at first. Jacopo was behind the plate, but just everybody filling in. And it's just been so nice and refreshing to watch these athletes filling in all of the gaps.
Yeah, because one of the reasons is the rosters are not large. In fact, Chicago just has Clements available to come off the bench as a position player, with Koffel not being available. Very hot day. I know it sounds like a broken record, but it's hot, Natasha Watley. It is a heat index right now around 100 degrees. And this is a turf field. That gets behind Wiz, so the runners move up another 60 feet. So it's 91 degrees. The feel-like temperature is cooled off to 98, so it's hot.
It is hot.
And, Koffel going to take the day off and rest up. Big RBI opportunity for Erickson, and she'll take advantage of it. Clemens scores. They hold Jacopo at third, but Jocelyn Erickson with the RBI single.
And the Chicago Bandits, they are not missing any opportunity. The run production has just been fantastic, and the timely hitting. Jocelyn Erickson picking up another RBI on the day, and the Bandits just getting it done.
Picking up where they left off yesterday, Taryn Kern, the number 7 hitter, playing in right field this evening. Rookie out of Stanford, 1 for 2 yesterday. Takes a ball. We have Lyndon Baptiste calling balls and strikes. Scott Mayer over at third. Gil Zayas at first base, our umpiring crew, 3-man crew. Boy, that was held for a while by Delaney Wiz, but they didn't get the call.
Yeah, you can see Maya Johnson and Delaney Wiz trying to really work that outside corner. They're going with that drop on the outer half and the curve, but not getting that outside corner.
Hit sharply to Amari Harper, who ends the inning. But Chicago strikes first with a couple of runs, 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the first. Welcome back to Oklahoma City, where Kat Sandercock has a 2-0 lead and is making her first start of the season.
Yes, and Kat Sandercock, just another athlete returning from Japan, and has had some success there as well and feeling pretty good, but this is her first appearance as a starter. But similar to Lexi Kilfoyle, she'll keep that ball down, but just a different feel. She has more of a pitch that has not so much a heavy sink like Lexi Kilfoyle, but she'll have a sharp angle down and a nice changeup, a very good changeup.
You see the numbers, 1 appearance that was last week, 3 innings of relief, gave up a run and also got a couple of strikeouts. Sydney McKinney trying to get the bunt down. As we take a look at this Oklahoma City Spark lineup, and Kirsten Roos was activated from the reserve pool today because Jessie Warren got hurt yesterday, and she came in right away and is starting.
Yeah, we saw her at second base and, you know, just getting acclimated. That Jessica Clement steal, just a little bit of, you know, verbiage of who's covering, and so just her kind of getting comfy and getting comfortable in the lineup today.
Clement stays in the game and is now playing right field. Taryn Kern goes to first. And what a play by Agbayani, and the call at first, however, was safe, but a great job just to get there.
Yeah, Sydney McKinney doing a good job of just hitting this ball on the money. This is a drop on the inner half, but Agbayani just being able to have that ability to get to that ball and even have a chance at a play. Of course, Sydney McKinney, a lot of speed, but still, good play.
Wow, and that was very close. You saw Kern with the good stretch to get the out, to almost get the out, but infield single for McKinney. And now here's Sydney Romero. One of 3 Sydneys in the lineup. And we are going to talk to Mikey Romero, her little brother, coming up. And yeah, Lyndon Baptiste, the latest to have a ball find his mask.
Yeah, we had the same situation happen yesterday, but this didn't even get mask at all.
Oh, he got his shoulder.
Him right in the shoulder. Oh, my goodness.
He's hanging in there.
Shout out to the umpires.
Sydney Romero 0 for 3 yesterday with a strikeout. Hit solidly. Agbayani trying to turn 2, and they do. The 4-6-3 double play. Agbayani to Wallace to Kern. And just like that, 2 outs and nobody on.
Yeah, just fire me up. I love me some defense, but Agbayani just so quick. It's that first throw that is so important of a double play, but a 4-6-3 double play. Chicago Bandits, fire me up.
Already a couple of nice plays by Agbayani out there. And yes, she is Benny's little girl, Benny, who played in the major leagues for a few different teams. Wiz takes a whack at the first pitch, and Agbayani, she's all over the place today, grabs it in foul territory for the final out. And we got Mikey Romero coming up. We'll be right back. 2-0 Chicago. Welcome back. The Bandits leading the Spark 2-0. We have a shot of Sydney Romero out there playing shortstop, and we're pleased to be joined by her little brother Mikey, who plays in the Red Sox organization. They got a big win today in Worcester, and Mikey joins us. And Mikey, what's it like? I know you, Sierra, obviously also your older sister who plays in this league. What's it like for you as a little brother to watch your sisters play pro softball?
I mean, it's awesome. It's fun to just get to watch them do what they love. And then it's always fun, too, just to see the text in our family group chat after the game. Just either saying, hey, nice hit, hey, nice home run, hey, nice play. So it's pretty cool to see.
You guys are probably one of the most competitive families in diamond sports for sure. And I wish I was a fly on the wall when you guys were growing up, but just take us back to what it was like in the backyard being a Romero.
Yeah, I always say it was like, I feel like, you know, I don't know what it's like having a brother, but I feel like it's comparable. They were so tough on me, and I feel like everything that we did, it was a competition, and I was always upset because they were always better than me. Even my little sister, she was always faster than me. Sierra was always a better hitter than me, and Sydney could always, you know, play better defense than me. So it was frustrating, but, you know, I had good role models, and it was fun to just it was fun to just grow up with them.
It made you better for sure, right?
100%.
So we're talking about Sydney, and we're watching Sydney play, but what are some of the things that you've learned the most from Sydney?
Yeah, I've always just really enjoyed watching the way she carries herself. She has such a calm demeanor. I feel like the moment's never too big for her. I remember watching the College World Series and watching her play for Oklahoma, and, you know, those crowds are going crazy, and it was just so cool to see her lock in and, you know, hit home runs when it was a big moment or make a great play. So I've always just appreciated that calm demeanor that she has, and that's something that I try and take into games daily.
Out of your sibling, who would you say has pushed you the most growing up? Out of all of them.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I definitely think Sierra has played probably the biggest part in just my development as an athlete. She's always there for me with, you know, defense, offense. But that's just such a tough question because I feel like they've all played such a big role. My little sister is always pushing me to be, the best version of myself on the field, and Sydney is right there with Sierra. I always talk to them about defense or hitting, whether we're going through a little slump or it's just talking shop.
Yeah, and you can probably say you probably know a ton about softball, just having your sisters, but, playing baseball at a high level and growing up around elite softball, what would be something that you would tell baseball fans about the game of softball?
I always tell everybody this, that softball is one of the most fun sports to watch just because of how fast it is. I think the last time I saw a softball game in person was back when I think it was an AUSL game at San Diego State, or I don't know, it was a while ago, but it's just so fast-paced. There's so much energy. Everyone's into the game, and I always just tell people that it's so competitive and it's just so fast-paced, and there's always something going on, and it's fun. I love watching softball.
Yeah, it really is a great game. The bases are loaded here right now with Sammy Williams coming up. What do you think is harder to do, Mikey? Hit a baseball or hit a softball?
I don't know. I've never had the opportunity to get in the box on a softball player, but I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised you have no desire maybe to stand in there against like Kalani Ricketts or somebody like that. I think you're a very smart man.
Definitely not. Yeah.
Yeah, Mikey, I just wanted to shed a little bit of light on your dad's impact on your family, and he just has had such a profound impact on all of you. But if you could just talk about, when I've talked to Sydney and I've talked to Sierra, and they, just about their hitting and all of the things that they've learned from him. But what's one lesson from him that you still hear in your head every time you step on the field?
A funny one, I think, should be hitting. That's like a big motto in our family. And I actually, I have a belt that should be hitting on it. And I feel like that's always playing in my head. As silly as it sounds, like there's always a way to get out of a slump. And, you can work out of it. And I think that, the harder you work, with baseball and softball, the game will reward you in some way. So I always kind of take that, and I'm just like, hey, let's get to work. Whether that be defensively or offensively, there's always something to work at.
Love that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, here we're already going to have a pitching change. As Maya Johnson has exited, and Jalen Ford is coming in, who started yesterday. It's been a bit of a rough stretch. I don't know if you had a chance to see the game yesterday, but your sister's team lost. Did you 14-0? What was that family chat like after a game like that? All athletes have been through it. It's just not your day. So what do you? Is there anything you can say to each other to try to get over that?
Get a good night's rest and come to the field ready to go tomorrow. That's about it.
I know, right? That's all you can do. Yesterday was tough, and I talked to Sydney for a little bit, but just, those are like the moments where you're like, okay, like I got to look within myself, got to come back tomorrow, compete. Those are the tough ones. Yeah,
Mikey, you were a first-round draft pick of the Red Sox back in 2022. What's your journey been like so far? I know you had some back issues early on. You're healthy. You got all buff and everything. What's your journey been like now as you try to make it to Boston?
Yeah, like you said, started out, had an unfortunate injury in my low back, stress fracture. Luckily it wasn't anything, obviously it was serious, missed a good amount of time, but, it hasn't been something that's limited to me anymore. So just the past couple of years, I've been blessed to stay on the field, and I played a lot of baseball. And, this year, obviously, I'm in AAA and on the verge of making my big league debut. I'm just trying to take it one day at a time. This season is so long, and there's so many different ways that, I can impact our big club. So, for me personally, I'm trying to stay where my feet are. I know that I have the tools to be a big leaguer. It's just about, when the time is right. So, I'm just really focused on, being where my feet are, and just continuing to give it my all, every time I step on the field.
All right, Mikey, we wish you the best of luck. Can't wait to see you in Fenway Park. And thank you so much for your time, and take care.
Good luck,
Thank you.
Mikey.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All right, Mikey Romero, thank you very much. Again, the little brother of Sierra and Sydney, and you mentioned their late father, and just what a great family, baseball, softball family, what a great influence his father is. And it's just so great to see that support that runs throughout for all of them.
And anytime you talk to Sierra and Sydney and Sophia, just the impact that their dad has made on them, and that slogan should be hitting. I love it. That's the first thing that they go to, and just how much of an impact their dad has made. And I just loved hearing from Mikey. Really
certainly
sweet.
That would be great if we could. As he continues his success, he's got two sisters playing pro ball, all three of them playing pro ball. But we've got Jalen Ford in, now facing Mac Barbara, who had an RBI single back in the first inning. So, boy, the last few innings have been all Chicago. They've already put up 2 in each of the first 2 innings here. They had a 6-run inning and a 5-run inning to close out yesterday's run rule victory. Little excuse me swing. Oh, Sydney Sherrill could not gather it into her glove. Sherrill playing third because Jesse Warren is on the injured list.
And Sydney Sharrow just so unlucky. All of these plays that have been happening to the Spark, and just trips over Skylar Wallace at third.
Inside, and Barbara draws the walk to load the bases. Let's go down to Nicole Mendez for more on the Romeros.
Well, you heard Mikey, the phrase from his dad, should be hitting. Sid also took inspiration from that. She actually made hitting journals. She has a green one for practice and personal training, and focuses on drill work, adjustments, and just how to play in day-to-day. And then she has one for game days. She actually has it in the dugout with her to help her make those adjustments at bats. She says it's just a piece and a way for her to keep her dad with her whenever she's playing. It's so special. That Romero family is so tightly knit, and her dad was a huge piece of that. So it's amazing the way that all of them continue to honor and carry on his legacy.
Yeah, and just even to her day-to-day, and being able to use that journal, document her hits, her at-bats. I love hearing stories about their dad and how much he's impacted them.
Did you ever do anything like that when you were hitting, or keep a book on pitchers?
I did when I was in Japan, and especially was just, I was learning a whole new roster of pitchers on different teams, and so just having to document what I was seeing, what I got thrown. So I really started that and practiced that a lot when I got to Japan.
Which I'm sure there were all sorts of differences going on there, and so many of these players have come back from playing over there. Here's Morgan Zirkle with an opportunity. The base is loaded, nobody out, 2 runs already in here in the second. Facing Ford, who both started and finished the game yesterday. Yesterday she threw 60 pitches, gave up 3 runs in 3 2/3 innings, and the historic 14-0 loss to Chicago.
Yeah, just the Bandits, you just look at their swings. They are so on it, and it doesn't matter where the Spark are going. They're going down and out, down and in. Even just that foul tip, Morgan Zirkle on it. 16 hits, 17 runs in the last 5 innings.
That's a lot.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's a lot. Zirkle had to wait on that just a little bit.
Just look at these swings. She's on it.
So what is that telling you when you are seeing these great swings? And we've seen she's fouled some things back that she's barely missing.
She's barely missing. She's on it. It's just a matter of just her pitch selection and the place that she's looking for.
Oh, pulled the string a little bit. Ford really wanted that called third strike, but it's not coming, and the count is full. Boy, she's upset.
Yeah, that's a pitch you need right there, especially when you're just not getting a lot of calls. But that's a pitch, if I am Jalen Ford, you need.
Yeah. That is strike 3. So the first out of this second inning.
And that's the curve. Jalen Ford has that one ball off of the plate and gets a Zirkle leaning and gets her swinging.
Jalen Ford made her first start of the season yesterday. She also is one of the athletes who was playing in the Pro League in Japan and came back this past week. That's hammered but foul by Mary Jacopo. Walked back in the first inning. Again, getting hit yesterday in the face. You can see the swelling there a little bit. Some of the discoloration. She's got, the term I think was a lot of makeup on there to try to cover it up, but hanging in as the DP sends that into right field. Jenkins gives way to Roos, who makes the catch, but with her momentum taking her away from the plate, that allowed Wallace to tag and score.
Just a play that needs to happen, and hopefully a momentum shifter for the Spark. Kirsten Roos being able to hold on to this ball, but again, her momentum taking her away, and I don't know if she misjudged on the outs, but again, that ball just needs to be caught. You just need to try to stop the bleeding any way that you can.
So now 2 away for Jocelyn Erickson, and they get The runner that's Barbara trying to get down to second to end the inning. So Erickson will lead things off in the third, but the Bandits played 3 more, and it's 5-0. Welcome back. Bandits up 5-0. We're going to take you into the game with Spark catcher Delaney Wiz. Before the game, warming up with rookie pitcher Maya Johnson.
Nice. I like that height. That'll still get called as a strike at the bottom of the zone. I like that height. Even if we never get that called for a strike, like that's better, in my opinion, than having you miss here and then being able to get barrel to it. Yeah, I think with that curve, just like with how tight your snap has been and has looked, like you can get away with like starting it river and then having it break more. Yeah. Hey, just small adjustments on those. They're literally just missing.
Lower.
I think they're just wide. Yeah. So I think you can trust your spin and trust your movement that it's going to break, but yeah, just bring it a little bit closer to the zone.
Okay.
Hey, we're working.
Yeah, just so much wisdom from Wiz behind the plate, and that's just like a veteran leader right there, just really leaning into Maya Johnson and letting her know, giving her so much feedback. As athletes, we love that feedback, but I just love that rapport and that communication between the two of them.
Delaney Wiz has been so valuable for Oklahoma City. They had been depending on Kinsey Hansen-McKinsey to be their catcher, but just before the season, announced that she was pregnant with their first child, so she's not going to be playing this year. And they went, their GM got, Wiz, that UCLA connection, and it's really worked out.
Yeah, and knowing that Delaney Wiz, catching is not her primary position. She's usually a corner. She acquired that at UCLA.
Boy, Agbayani putting on a show over there at second base.
I mean, a super clinic right now. Her glove work, her footwork, just crisp. She's such a ball player. I can watch her field all day long.
Yeah, Natasha Watley was a tremendous shortstop, but you middle infielders depending on each other so much. And second baseman, a lot of shortstop maybe kind of maybe a more publicized position, but second baseman so valuable.
Yes. Shortstops with brains.
Yes.
Who told you that?
That's Jenny Dalton-Hill, who is the general manager for Chicago. Of course, she was a second baseman, so of course she's going to say she was a shortstop with brains. But she came in to Arizona as a shortstop and was converted to a second baseman. And said it took quite a while to learn, and there are big differences.
It's such a big difference. It's, yes, your middle, same depth, but it almost feels like you're backward reading off of a hitter, a lefty hitter, just reading that ball to you at second base. But it's the thinking of covering on bunts, covering at second. It's a lot going on for a second baseman.
Agbayani, the ball keeps finding her. Harper grounds out. Agbayani has been involved in the last 4 defensive plays. A couple of ground outs to her. Started a 4-6-3 double play and also caught a pop-up in foul territory, so she's been busy.
She has been busy, and she has been on it. But that's what you're going to see with Kat Sandercock. She induces a lot of ground balls, a lot of sharp drops. She'll angle in, especially to the lefty, so you should expect a lot of action at second base when lefties are up, especially.
Sydney Sherrill up for the first time. Again, playing third because Jesse Warren got hurt running down to first base in yesterday's game and has been placed on the injured list. So when you put on the list, you have to be out for a minimum of 7 days. Hit hard, Wallace. Throws her out, bit of a high throw handled by Barbara, who's back playing at first, and that is a very nice 1-2-3 inning for Sandercock, who has faced the minimum through 2 innings. Second season for the AUSL, and it was the Talons who beat the Bandits in the championship series last year, and this year the teams all have home cities. That was not the case last season. Talons playing, they're the Utah Talons, based in Salt Lake City. We have the Chicago Bandits and the OKC Sparks, along with the Portland Cascade, are the 2 new teams. Even though the Spark have existed with other leagues, they were independent last year. And there you see the Talons on top again. And the Bandits on a bit of a winning streak here. They won yesterday, and OKC's now dropped 4 in a row.
Yeah, and just the Bandits have seemed to come alive with their bats, and so eyes on them.
Erickson over Ford's head, and that's a terrific play by Romero. Sid was able to get to it, but Erickson beat it out. She had to go to the first base side of second base.
And just take a look at Sydney Romero on this play. When she goes up to the middle, she gets to it, but it's almost as if when she got to it, she was trying to stay on her feet, almost was about to trip a little bit. So by the time she got that throw off, Erickson stands up on first.
Oh, yeah, you could see just that little bit where she almost lost her balance, and that enabled Erickson to beat the throw. So Jocelyn is now 2 for 2. And here's Taryn Kern. Grounded out her first time to first base. She had a game-winning pinch hit in a victory against Oklahoma City in Chicago 2 weeks ago, when Chicago won that series 2-1. This is a 2-game series. Hard to believe the season's already pretty much halfway over. 25 games for each team. Kern down 1-2. And the team that finishes first in the regular season standings, they get a bye. And this year there will be a play-in game. The second place and the third place team will play a game to decide who will play the first place team in the championship series, which is new.
Yes.
Because we've got 6 teams instead of 4. Kern goes down looking.
And that's why it's so important in this part of the season to start to get your wins. And if you're the Bandits, like this momentum that you're getting, like there's still time. We're in that midway, halfway in the season. And so you want to be that top 3. And so there's still time.
Championship series will be down in College Station, their beautiful ballpark. They just tore down the old one. Did you see that at Texas A&M? Yeah.
Yeah, I've yet to be there. I've never.
You've never been to College Station?
I have never been there. Never been there. I feel like I've seen every softball field in the world.
Amazing.
That is one I have not seen.
Amazing athletic facilities there. Big swing and a miss from Bella Dayton, who singled and scored her first time up. But Davis Diamond, the new one. And the old field that Amanda Scarborough would have played on has been torn down, and I know it has some sentimental value, but they've got a big upgrade with the new stadium.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I've heard it's nice. I've heard it's
Yes.
really, really nice.
So that's where the championship series will be, the end of July. Bella Dayton, along with Mac Barber, they are cousins and had been playing with Team Italy, so they missed a spell. Dayton did. Barber came in to start the season with the Bandits after they were in Prague playing for Italy. Off the glove of Ford. What a flip by Kirsten Roos. Just called up today from the reserve pool to retire Erickson.
And how about Roos? This is how you welcome yourself to the Spark. You gotta play solid D, but this right here, this is so hard. This is a hard hit ball. Roos getting to this ball, glove flip, just money.
Again, Roos coming up to take the roster spot of Jesse Warren. Sydney Sherrill, the regular second baseman, playing third, and that is gone. One powerful swing. And this is turning into an Ailana Agbayani evening. She's been great at second base, and now she's got a home run.
And I just want to know what Agbayani had for breakfast today. She had her Wheaties, but I mean, just showing off on both sides of the plate. Some incredible defensive plays, but this right here is just solid hitting, and she just uses her entire body. It supplies so much power. She's got a small frame, but Have a day, Agbayani.
And that is her first professional home run, the rookie out of Oklahoma. A 2-run shot, and it's 7-0. And Skylar Wallace, who had 2 home runs yesterday, comes up for the 3rd time. So Agbayani great in the field and just left the yard with that home run. Here she is with Nicole Mendez.
Well, how about today? You get to make stellar defenses. I think you have a magnet in your glove and then some kind of opposite magnet on your bat. Swing today. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I think I'm just trying to pass the bat with my team. I think we felt so together right now. So I think just feeling that togetherness with the team, I think it's showing offensively and defensively.
Defensively, you've covered ranges up the middle, in the hole. How have you felt doing covering that?
Yeah, all I think about is having my pitchers back. They're working hard against elite hitters, so really just trying to make plays for them.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And boy, has she been making some plays. It's 7-0 Bandits as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. And we are pleased to be joined by Sammy Williams, who is listening to us out there in the field. Sammy Gaddis, thanks for doing this. Boy, what a season you are having, and while balancing working for the Chicago Cubs. What's it been like for you this year? Your numbers are eye-popping.
Yeah, it's been good. I'm just trying to be clear of mind. Yeah, Kat. Stay focused, not let the ups and downs move things around, but I'm lucky enough to be off from work right now so I can focus fully on softball.
Are your coworkers tuning into you, like seeing you ball out?
Yeah.
So Sammy, just talk a little bit about this season, just being able to come back in the Pro League and just kind of your approach you've been taking, especially at the plate.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Talk about how you've been able to come back this year and have your softball pro career, but your approach at the plate. Talk about that.
Sorry, that one went in and out again. Can you repeat it one more time?
Just talk about your approach at the plate.
Yeah, I'm just trying to stay clear of mind at the plate, drive something up the middle. That's been my focus. Not trying to make too much happen, and it's been working for me. So, yeah, Kat.
Yeah, Roos gets blown away by that.
Job, kid.
Sandra Cock pitch, her first strikeout.
So walk us through, Sammy, your position as a software engineer. What does that mean, and what does your day-to-day look like?
Yeah, so I'm a senior software engineer with the Cubs. So I'm in the baseball systems team. We work with the front office and really just get to build whatever they want to try to help make the org make good decisions. Yeah, Kat, data-backed decisions. So yeah, pretty much just get to work with all the departments on the baseball side and build some cool stuff. Yeah, Kat. Nice pitch.
Yep, Grace Jenkins at the plate, and Sammy's talking to us while she's playing third base. Not a whole lot going on, right, for any third baseman, right? So a lot going on. We'll wait for this pitch because I know you're focused.
Thank you. Yeah, Kat.
What's it like? You got Skylar Wallace now, Aaron Kaufhold. You have one heck of a lineup. What's that like to have that support in the batting order?
Oh yeah, I love playing with Erin. It's been awesome. She's just a great leader too. Like regardless of her ability.
Nice play. Sammy Williams
Sammy.
talking and playing ball.
That told me she was going to get me one.
That a girl.
Yeah, Erin's such a good leader too. So, I mean, she's just so great to talk through things. Especially on defense, she really grounds me over here at third. I haven't played a ton of third, but it's been good. Yeah, Kat. Yeah.
So, Sammy, what's it been like with the return of Lexi Kilfoyle and Kat Sandercock in the circle behind them both coming back from Japan?
Oh, yeah. They're awesome. They're clearly shoving this weekend, so they've been great. It's been really fun to play behind them. Get us a lot of ground balls. Yeah, Kat. A lot of outs.
Yeah, Kat Sandercock only had to throw 10 pitches in the first 2 innings.
Here you go, kid. Yeah, D2. Yeah, out of way.
So, Sammy, if you had the opportunity to either practice taking some ground balls or BP, what would it be?
Sorry, repeat that.
You only had an opportunity to practice BP or practice ground balls, what would it be?
I think it would be BP because it takes me a little longer to get loose. Yeah, Kat. Good pitch. It's my 5th year of pro ball, so got to keep the body warm. So I'd probably say BP to get some rotation in. Yeah, Kat. Here you go, kid.
1-2 pitch to Billy Andrews, up for the very first time.
Yeah!
Took something off of that. Sandercock with the strikeout. Sammy Williams, thank you very much. All right. Boy, Sandercock faced the minimum 9 batters through 3 innings. It's 7-0. And we have one of them who should be getting some votes, stepping into the batter's box right now. It's Sammy Williams, who we just talked to when she was out playing third base in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and now she's leading off here in the 4th.
Yeah, my kind of athlete, like super intense, and I almost felt bad that, you know, we were chatting with her, but I loved her insights and just how she's approaching the game and how to balance work life and playing the game as well.
And she is absolutely tearing it up. She's hitting 500 on the season, and last night she hit a home run.
Yeah, this was an absolute blast, and if you can remember, this was a changeup, so her ability to stay in her legs, and she just clobbers it, and so much power that she possesses.
That's out of play. Williams now hitting 500, leading the league in hitting. She had been right behind Maya Brady, who we have not mentioned yet. Maya's on the injured list, so not available for Oklahoma City, and it's the long ball that the Bandits have really brought out against the Sparks. 10 home runs against the Sparks this year in 5 games, 5 home runs against all the other teams in the league.
Yeah, they got something on the Spark, huh?
Yep, hit 3 of them yesterday. And we had the 2-run shot by Agbayani in the last inning. And Sammy Williams, what a threat. In the top 5 in the league in every offensive category. And has surpassed Brady now for in batting average. And great comments too about, you know, playing next to Koffel, right?
Yeah.
You have that Koffel at short. Koffel out for rest today, and then Williams over at 3rd.
Yes, yeah, just the 2 of them just holding it down, and they were the steady at the beginning of the season when they had a little bit of the ebbs and the flows, but Sammy Williams stepping it up huge, working her way up in this lineup.
Little off speed from Ford, who came in for the Spark after Maya Johnson was lifted in the 2nd inning. Spark had to use 4 pitchers yesterday, including Ford coming in a couple of times. They're not getting cheated on a lot of swings, are they?
She is taking her hacks and just kind of swinging at the ones that she doesn't want and staying alive in this AB. Feisty, she's on the plate. So taking away that outer half.
Laid off of that one after fouling off. 7 pitches, and there you see. Not bad. And that was coming into the night, and after getting hit by a pitch and that 2-run double, she's up at 500. Just an amazing season so far. Now here's a full count from Ford. Wow.
And you can see she's on the plate, and Ford keeps going to that curve on the inner half and just trying to get her to back off, but she just keeps turning on it, fouling it off, trying to waste it. So looking for something middle out.
And remember, we are here just in the 4th inning, and there is a run rule, just like in college. 8-run lead after 5 innings, so Chicago trying to get to that 8-run mark. Another foul ball. And we talked about how efficient Kat Sandercock had been just through 10 in the first 2 innings, 26 total. The Spark as a team with 2 pitchers all the way up to 85. And we're only in the 4th inning with nobody out.
Yeah, Kat Sandercock has been so efficient on the mound today and just has had so much precision, so much movement. Again, using her defense. A lot of ground balls.
And after fouling off 10 straight pitches, Williams sends one to the wall, running well out of the box, gets a stand-up double.
My goodness, when you are seeing it, you are seeing it. That has to be one of the feistiest at-bats I have seen. And Sammy Williams just continuing to foul off pitches, that inside curve. That one is a little bit over the heart of the plate, and she's able to drive it up the middle. She stays in that at-bat. And she's on second base with a double.
Yeah, and in that at-bat, she fouled off 10 balls, not in a row, but still a great at-bat, fouling off 10 pitches from Ford and then getting the double. And Ford is going to now exit the game. Ailana Vaughter coming in. We saw her pitch yesterday as OKC is still trying to figure out how to stop Chicago. We'll be back at second. Came from Coastal Carolina, played there for 4 years, and then played her senior year at Georgia. And Ailana Vaughter comes in, the 3rd pitcher we have seen today for OKC.
And Vaughter, she compliments Jalen Ford. She keeps that ball down. She's got that drop and change mix. She'll go to both sides of the plate with that drop, and she'll keep that ball down.
Second appearance for Vaughter, who also came back to the States after pitching in Japan off the end of the bat from Barbara. Handled by McKinney for the first out.
That's got to be the first ball that Matt Barbara hits to left. Every ball that she has put in play, right up the middle.
Now Morgan Zirkle, who is 0 for 2. Zirkle, the head coach at her alma mater, Marshall, in West Virginia. Sends it skyward. Sherrill has a beat on it in foul territory for out number 2. Vaughter coming in and getting the first couple of outs after the leadoff double from Sammy Williams that chased Ford. Mary Jacopo.
Good spot.
And a sac fly for her, but you like the pitch?
Yeah, just a good miss. I mean, if you're going to miss down, right? And, you know, a lot of these pitches that we've seen miss from the Spark have just been plated a little bit too elevated and on the plate.
That one floats in at 54 miles an hour, and Vaughter trying to get out of another sticky situation. Vaughter did pitch yesterday, faced 7 batters and allowed 3 runs in the 14-0 run rule win for Chicago. That one's inside and called for a strike.
And I think she just pairs up better with the Bandits, just able to keep that ball down a little bit more than the other pitchers.
Lifted into right field. Grace Jenkins drifts over, and a terrific job by Vaughter to strand Williams at second and keep it a 7-0 game. Bandits up on the Spark 7-0 as we go to the bottom of the fourth, and we are joined in the chair chat by Lexi Kilfoyle, the talented pitcher. You made your debut yesterday. All right, you're in Japan. You come over in a ridiculously long flight. Why were you able to be so effective yesterday in your first start here?
Yeah, honestly, the coaches just did a great job of helping me prepare. And just the mental approach, I think, obviously wasn't feeling physically my best and still trying to get to feeling physically good. But the coaches did a great job of just filling us with the information, giving us all the info we need to know.
So, Lexi, this is your second year playing in Japan, and you've had some success there. But what would you say is the biggest difference from playing in Japan and playing here in the States?
I would say just the difference in the batters. I think when I'm over here in the States, I mean, all the girls are so strong, so big. I'm fearing for my life that I'm going to get a ball back to my face over the fence. But in Japan, like, they just move their feet so fast and they're so quick. But they have the ability to hit any kind of ball, whether it's at their head, it's at their toes. They can just hit any kind of ball. So you have to find ways to kind of be sneaky and just find a way to get them out, whatever it is.
Yeah, so what has been your adjustments? Has there been things that you've learned there that you've built into your game now?
Yeah, I would say just being able to move the ball more efficiently. I think sometimes you can get away here with really good location, but if you don't have movement over there, I think they can very easily get on top of you just because their barrel awareness and their bat control is just absolutely insanely good.
Yeah, no, I would definitely agree. But you touched on it a little bit, but just talk about, just your mental approach coming into yesterday's game. Just what were some of the things that you focused on when you're talking about your mental approach?
Yeah, I think trying and just keeping it simple. When I have too much of my brain, that's when I'm not doing my greatest. So just keeping it simple and remembering little pitch cues. So for my drop ball, just staying fast, staying loose, or my changeup, trying to make it look like my fastball and my drop ball. So just little cues like that, and being able to stay tied in with my teammates. I think sometimes you get a little nervous and you kind of forget where you're at. So just making sure I'm connecting with them on the field, trusting them.
So second year AUSL, just you're back with your Bandits. Last year you guys are fighting for a championship, and just talk about what it's meant to be back with the team and how it's been going so far.
Yeah, it's made my heart so happy. I think last year we did an amazing job just building as a team, and I mean, we didn't finish how we wanted to, but we kind of learned from our mistakes in that championship game, and I think it kind of lit a fire underneath us for this year. And we have so many great new rookies, new players, so much talent on our team that I'm excited to see what they can add to our table and hopefully learn from us of what we learned last year so we can go back and chase the championship again.
Yeah, we just saw Sandercock give up only her second hit in her first since the very first inning. Kat also just coming back from Japan, where that one's got a charge behind it. Delaney Wiz gonna send in the first run with an RBI double, so they finally get to Sandercock.
And Delaney Wiz being able to just get a little bit of momentum going for the Spark. This is an elevated pitch. This is a rise on the inner half, and Delaney Wiz crushes it. And Sydney McKinney being able to score from first base. One run on the board for the Spark.
Now Bubba Nichols Camarena steps in. Okay, and Lexi, the last couple of days, we've been seeing your batters just go crazy with these home runs. How much of a luxury is that as a pitcher to go out there when you see the balls flying out of the park?
Oh, it's an absolute blessing. I mean, it takes a weight off your shoulders as a pitcher because you know that you can go out there, and if you do make a mistake, which mistakes always happen, if you do make a mistake, that it's okay. Like, 1 run isn't going to be much, but yesterday the case was 14 runs. So obviously going out there, you can just breathe and relax and have a good time and just pitch to your truest self.
Yeah, it was a great outing for you yesterday. Congratulations on that and continued success. Thanks so much,
Thank
Lexi.
you, guys.
All right, Lexi Kilfoyle, who pitched over at Oklahoma State and was really good yesterday in the circle. And as she mentioned, coming back from Japan, you know what's that? You played there for 8 years, and then coming back and pretty much having to hit the ground running.
Yeah, and I loved her just sharing the adjustments that she's had to make, just the break. I already thought that her drop ball had a heavy break on it, but that's so true of just being so sharp and crisp. And I think that was the difference yesterday, her ability to hit corners, but it was the break on the pitch. She played a lot of pitches and just a lot of dirty movement with that drop ball.
Only had to go 5 innings yesterday because of the 14-0 win. Erickson's throw down, and they get whiz. So Erickson popping out quickly, and as a lefty was open up towards third and was able to gun down whiz.
And Jocelyn Erickson just doing a good job of keeping this ball in front of her. As she keeps it in front of her, she's on her feet and already has her feet in good positioning to fire off a throw there. But Delaney Wiz just being able to be tagged out by Sammy Williams.
Wiz, who had just driven in Sydney McKinney with the first run of the game for OKC, has been erased, so nobody out, or nobody on, pardon me, with 2 away. Goes upstairs to get Bubba swinging. Oklahoma City finally is able to touch up Sandercock, but it's still 7-1 Bandits as we go to the 5th. This year, the rookie out of Florida played a year at Oklahoma before transferring to Florida, where she had a tremendous career. Player of the year as a junior, catcher of the year as well. And she's 2 for 2 tonight. Gotten off to a bit of a slow start offensively this season. Starting to come on.
Yeah, you just think about getting that golden ticket. You just, as a senior, you don't know what the future holds, and it's been so fun seeing a lot of these athletes getting this golden ticket and knowing what it means as soon as they see that video played up on the big screen, knowing that they're going to receive a golden ticket and get to extend their softball careers, and it's been incredible to watch.
Great opportunities opening up. 2nd season of the AUSL. Elena Vaughter, the 3rd OKC pitcher we've seen, and
she won't get the hit by pitch, I guess, because it was going to be a strike.
Yep, I heard so much because the ball was over the plate. Shonda Stanton, in her first year as the head coach, at Indiana right now, was at Marshall before that. How about Jocelyn Erickson, 3 for 3 tonight. She came into the series 0 for 8 down in Texas when they got swept by the Volts in a 2-game series. She's got 3 singles this evening.
Jocelyn Erickson just seeing the ball well now and getting a lot of production now at the bottom of the lineup. She's in the 6th hole and she's feeling it.
Yeah.
Hey.
Taryn Kern, 0 for 2. Kern also played for Shonda Stanton in her 1 year at Indiana and then transferred out west to Stanford. And now reunited with Stanton in the Pro League.
A little Stanford on Stanford matchup, but Taryn Kern just a student of the game, just very disciplined at the plate, very selective. Again, just learning all of these pitchers at the pro level, so a little bit of a slow start.
Yeah, what an adjustment it must be. Just 6 teams in the AUSL. Not a lot of roster spots, so much talent. Bauters ahead 1-2. Kern on the nose. Smokes it into left field, so back-to-back singles to lead off the 5th inning.
But it's just the sound off their bats. It's just coming off so hard, and they're hitting the ball so solid.
Yeah. They have not been fooled many times at all in this 2-game series. They put up 21 runs and have given up 1, and that came in the last inning. Bella Dayton has been up twice, scored twice, squares to bunt. Dayton playing just in her 2nd series after coming back. Playing in Italy. Had 2 hits in that opening series and has a hit tonight. Cheryl crashing in from 3rd, Harper from 1st.
Yeah, so much speed from Bella Dayton, and still playing that small ball, showing bunt. Just a dynamic athlete, hits for power, a lot of speed.
2 strikes now, and she swings away. And there we just see it. That's domination. 14-0 yesterday. Lifted into short left field, coming in and making the sliding catch on her knees, Sydney McKinney for the first out.
And you have to think that Sydney McKinney, or, you got to know that Sydney McKinney is out of position. Usually an infielder, a middle infielder, so playing left field. So just trying to get comfortable out there. So that communication between her and Sydney Romero, huge. So that is a big catch for Sydney McKinney in left field.
Agbayani is 2 for 2, hit her first home run of her professional career. The last time up, and here it is.
How about this for your first career pro home run? It is solid. Agbayani, she is feeling it today.
Hit that off of Ford, who relieved Maya Johnson, who only lasted 1 inning, plus a couple of batters. Actually, plus 4 batters before she was lifted in the 2nd inning. Agbayani also has made a couple of really good plays out at 2nd base. But fans here in Oklahoma know her all too well, because last year she won the Rawlings Gold Glove with the Sooners as a 2nd baseman. And bringing that into the pros. Time called. Erickson at 2nd, Kern at 1st. And a 3-1 pitch that Agbayani took to load the bases. And here comes Skylar Wallace.
Yeah, it's just the free passes that has been the difference for the Spark. They, for the most part, have played solid defense, but just the pitchers just have not been able to figure out how to get these Bandit hitters out.
And nowhere to put her with 1 away. Wallace has a hit today. Skylar hit 2 home runs yesterday, also had a double. That double was off of Vaughter, who is in the circle again tonight. Hits for Chicago. They had 13 yesterday. And another 3-0 count. Wallace takes it for strike 1. And Sammy Williams is on deck.
Yeah, just it's not getting any easier in this Bandit lineup, and Spark just needing to figure out an out pitch.
Well, a couple of home runs yesterday for Skylar Wallace. That's off Ford.
Yeah, and she was feeling it yesterday in her debut since being back from Japan, but that leadoff home run just really set the tone for the day for the Bandits. And then having another home run later in the game, and she is seeing it.
That's a big out, but tagging at third and scoring Erickson. So from a 3-0 pitch, Vaughter doing a good job to fight back, get it full, and Wallace gets the sac fly as the 8th run crosses the plate. And now Sammy Williams, the best hitter in the league this year. A couple of doubles tonight, was hit by a pitch and scored a run. And we're going to have another pitching change as Maddie Penta comes in for Vaughter. So Vaughter exits, Penta comes in. And we remind you that the 2026 AUSL Championship is headed to Davis Diamond and College Station for an unforgettable weekend of pro softball. Catch the AUSL play-in game on July 23rd. The championship series beginning July 25th. Series passes and single game tickets are on sale now. Visit theausl.com today. And again, the format with the 6 teams this year. If you finish in first place, you wait to see who wins that play-in game between the 2nd and 3rd place finishers. All right, so Penta in to face Sammy Williams, who has not been retired tonight and was only retired 1 time yesterday, and that was in her very first at bat. Since then, walk, RBI double, 2-run homer, hit by pitch, 2-run double-double. That's good work by Sammy Williams this weekend.
Yeah, she's absolutely on fire, and having the opportunity to get inside her head a little bit, just trying to keep things simple and just thinking about hitting that ball right back up the middle. And she's just been so solid. She's been so clutch for the Bandits, kind of holding it down in the top of the season when things were a little bit shaky, but holding her own.
You know, like so many teams in the league, waiting for players to get back from overseas. And now Penta from Chesapeake City, Maryland, making her 3rd appearance. And you see the ERA is a whopper, but here's the chance to keep it out of that run rule situation with the best hitter in the league up. Man, Delaney Wiz, these catchers.
He is working back there, just working for pitchers. And this is that foul tip, but just right into her thigh. Just getting banged up back there. Ooh, that was rough.
And Wiz, who did some catching at UCLA, but when they called on her there, she, answered the bell, and doing the same thing here with Hansen being out.
Yeah, just an incredible athlete. Just her ability to do whatever is asked for her to do, and she's generally a corner, but GM Kirk Walker said at the beginning of the season, or preseason, called her and said, hey, I need you to take some reps behind the plate. And she said, okay, I am on it. And so she has stepped in and has been incredible behind the plate. And a couple games ago, had a little scare against the Cascade, had a ball go off of her helmet, and here just getting banged up again. So she's a fighter back there.
And taking a bit of time to try to get herself together. Carly White is the head athletic trainer for Oklahoma City. And she's also having to handle a lot of pitchers. I mean, she's had to handle 4 different pitchers now for 2 nights in a row.
And even just going back to the athletes that were in the reserve pool, she had a all rookie class that she was handling, and now handling these athletes that have returned from Japan. So just a lot of pitchers just, figuring out what works for them, what clicks, having that communication, having that rapport with them. That's a lot of work. And to be on the same page with all of them is not easy to do.
And then to get beat up by foul tips. On top of that, Agbayani takes off, trying to induce the throw home, but they don't get it. Kern still over at third. So Agbayani credited with the steal, her first of the season.
That's the break that you need. That's a curve breaking away. Maddie Penta, she'll go to both sides of the plate. Curve, screw, rise. Good break on that pitch.
And a full count to Sammy Williams. Kern at third, Agbayani at second. Penta's pitch. Taken high to load the bases. So Williams so patient at the plate, draws the walk. And now Mac Barbara comes up with the bases loaded and 2 away. Barbara with good numbers since coming over earlier in the week. And she's quickly down 2 strikes. Foul back to keep the at-bat alive.
I had to go back with that rise again from Maddie Penta. Try to see if I can get Mac Barbara to swing and miss.
Puts it on the ground, playable. Having to hurry over, and doing so was Harper to end the inning. So Chicago leaves them loaded. Played another run. They're up 8-1 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. The sun is setting here in Oklahoma City. And Chicago leading 8-1 tonight after winning yesterday 14-0. Kat Sandercock making her first start of the season has been really good, giving up just the 1 run on 3 hits. Agbayani doing it in the field and at the plate. And a good start for Amari Harper, a good start for this bottom of the 5th inning as she leads off with a solid single.
Just a little momentum needed to come for the spark, and Amari Harper hitting that on the nose, hopefully trying to pick up this offense just a tad bit.
Yeah, they were finally able to get to Sandercock a little bit in the last inning with a single and then an RBI double by Wiz after Sandercock had faced the minimum 9 batters through the first 3 innings. That's wailed on by Sherrill, and it is gone. Sydney Sherrill takes the first pitch she sees in this at bat and sends it sailing.
And this is the exact momentum that the Spark need, and especially with those drops on the inner half to those lefties. The first time around, they were rolling out to second base, but great job from Amari Harper, keeping her hands inside, going up the middle, and Sydney Sherrill just absolutely crushing this drop on the inner half, keeping her hands inside and sending this thing deep.
Sydney Sherrill's second home run of the season. Cuts the lead to 8-3. Kirsten Roos up for only the second time, struck out the first time she faced Sandercock, and Sydney Sherrill very familiar with this building because she is on the the coaching staff for Oklahoma Christian University. This is their ball field, and Sydney Sherrill is with Nicole Mendez.
It's been a battle for you guys to get the bats going. How good did that home run feel to get that for your team?
Yeah, it felt really good. I feel like our pitchers have stepped up in these last couple innings and have held them. And so we just needed to answer back with our runs. And it's nice to have some momentum on our side for once. So, yeah.
Not always an easy conversation to make that adjustment mid-series or mid-game. What have you guys been talking about?
I think we've just been continuing to stay positive and encourage each other. I think we've had good at-bats. Things just haven't been falling our way. So we've just stayed in the process, stayed with each other, and tried to just, stay together through all of it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, Sydney can go catch her breath as she heads back into the dugout. Play at short by Wallace drew Barbara off the bag, and Ruse is safe. And Skylar Wallace back at short, pardon me.
Yeah, just where she's most comfortable, but just her range is incredible. But this ball takes her far up the middle, so as a shortstop, when it takes you far up the middle, it's hard to keep your feet underneath you and have that throw. Your arm slot can get away from you, and that's exactly what happens, and Roos is on first.
Skylar Wallace has been charged with the throwing error to put Roos over at first. 2 runs in, still nobody out in this bottom of the order. And that might be it for Sandercock. There's a visit, Shonda Stanton talking to the home plate umpire. Kat Sandercock only had to throw 45 pitches, but has been touched up the last couple of innings and will give way to Amber Pfizer. So good outing for Sandercock in her first start of the season. And now Pfizer comes in. Pfizer has pitched the second most innings in the league this year, but a good job for Sandercock. A good way to start it off.
Yeah, I really liked what we saw from Sandercock. She just did a really good job of moving the ball in and out, kind of jamming lefties, jamming righties, and just changing it up a little bit with Pfizer.
But her second time through the lineup is when the hits started coming for Oklahoma City. So Pfizer, who graduated from the University of Minnesota 5 years ago, comes in, making her 7th appearance of the season.
And Pfizer a little bit more upspin. She'll have that curve. She has off speed as well.
I saw her pinch run yesterday.
Yeah, she's been busy, these small rosters.
And they see now dropping to second in innings pitched, but having to rely on her a lot, waiting for Lexi Kilfoyle and Kat Sandercock to come back from overseas. And we want to mention, too, that Odyssey Alexander Bennett is not with the Chicago Bandits. Our hearts go out to her and her family as she lost her grandfather recently and is back home in Virginia for his funeral.
Yeah, definitely our hearts go out to her and sending her our condolences.
Very, very close to her grandfather.
Yes, and he's essentially raised her, and loved hearing all of her stories about the impact that he's made in her life.
Kat Sandercock's line. Pfizer facing Grace Jenkins, who grounded out in her only at-bat against Sandercock. And Amber Pfizer set a Bandits record with a complete game win against Oklahoma City a couple of weeks ago. And the record was she had 7 strikeouts in that game. It's like, as well as Kilfoyle pitched last night, right, with the shutout, she only had 1 strikeout in the 5 innings.
Yeah, and just Pfizer holding down this team in the start of the season, just really being a steady force in the circle for the Bandits and keeping them in this season. She just does a good job of moving the ball around, but she's just a fierce competitor. When you watch her throw, so much presence, she comes right at you.
Jenkins with a full count, and Roos over at first base.
Man,
and that sends her over to first. After getting hit by the pitch, it would have been ball 4 anyway.
Yeah,
it's been ruled an HBP.
Yeah, and her curve just gets that back elbow. Ugh, that's a tough place to get hit.
And then Pfizer just streaked into the dugout to change her shoes. Getting some different cleats on. Adidas, the supplier this year for the league.
Yeah, well, it's a turf field, so maybe I think she had her plastics on and maybe is putting back on her metals now, or...
AUSL by Adidas brings together the energy of the game with the style and performance fans love, featuring exclusive apparel, elevated essentials, and athlete-inspired looks. Visit the AU Pro Shop online at shop.auprosports.com today. You can get some great gear for your favorite team, your favorite players, some AUSL gear. Pfizer changes out her Adidas cleats.
Yeah, she had on her turf shoes and put on her plastic spikes, so just needs a little bit more gripping.
An all-turf field, and then obviously the dirt infield. As Billy Andrews waits to hit. Spark only had 1 hit through the first 3 innings. And have had 4 since then. Andrews struck out swinging against Sandercock. Bunt goes foul. Trying to get Roos over the third base.
Pfizer throwing upper 68, so she's popping it, but just trying to find that control.
Andrews gets the bunt down. That moves the runners. Roos over at third. Jenkins now over at second on the sack bunt.
And Billy Andrews just taking the time to get this ball down. So important when you're sacrificing yourself and making sure you get that ball down on the ground, move those runners up 60 feet, doing a job.
And still just one away for the top of the order, and Sydney McKinney who goes after the first pitch. McKinney had the only hits against Sandercock. And Wiz came up a couple of batters later, had an RBI double in the last inning. And fans finally getting something really to cheer about over the last couple of days. Pfizer had 0-2. Short hop by Wallace, who goes home. Erickson with the tag. And Roos is out, but she's saying she thinks she was safe.
And Roos was going on the ball angle down. But she's claiming that she got in there timing-wise.
For the review.
Looked like she was out, just a matter of the tag. I think she might have gotten in there.
Yeah, you can have challenges. And the hand is on the plate. You don't get a good view of it there. I think the other one was a better angle. Here we go. Did Erickson supply the tag before that hand hit the plate?
Yeah, I don't think she got that left hand. She was able to get that right hand in before that tag.
I think she's safe, and she left her glove on the plate, maybe as evidence.
I'm safe right here.
But you could certainly see the vantage point of Lyndon Baptiste, the home plate ump, from behind. With the ball beat her, but did the tag beat her? I think she's safe.
I think she's safe too. I think she gets in there because it's not clear with that left hand that there was a tag there. And I think that right hand gets in there. It's a great slide.
So we await the ruling on this. Again, this is Kirsten Roos, who was just signed today out of the reserve pool.
After further review, the call to plate stands as an out. That is the Sparks' first challenge.
What do we know, Pam?
Yeah, well, two challenges, and it might just be the point where they didn't think there was enough video, evidence to overturn it, but close play at the plate. So officially, Roos is out. And Sydney Romero comes up. Sydney trying to get her bat going again. Had her brother Mikey on earlier today, and he was right. It's like she's making some good contact, but just unable to find the green to get any base hits this weekend. She is in these two games 0 for 5. Still hitting well over 300 for the season. Sydney Romero gets her first hit of the series in style. Crushing a pitch deep into the bleachers for a 3-run home run.
And Amber Pfizer has just been elevating that drop ball. She's been trying to find it, and you just cannot make a mistake on a hitter like Sydney Romero. She is too good at anything elevated. She's got such a good bat head to the top of the zone, and she absolutely crushes this ball, and that's a 3-run home run for the Spark. And just take a look at where this pitch is, and Sydney knows off the bat, but just her bat head, look at her hands. Her hands are so quick to the ball. Just too good of a hitter to leave that pitch elevated.
Measured at 254 feet. And the mobile phone video capturing the celebration for Romero, who has just hit her 3rd home run of the season and now has 10 runs driven in. And here's Sid with Nicole.
Well, Sid, being able to get that swing on, you love the high pitch, the rise ball. How good did that swing feel?
So good. I felt all my at-bats, I felt really good. Wasn't the outcome I wanted, but it was nice to just keep plugging along and then finally showing up.
Speaking of plugging along, we talked about the should-be hitting mindset. What did that feel like approach-wise all game long?
Just competing. I mean, obviously we were down by a lot in the beginning, and sometimes that's just the game. And the biggest thing for us is just to keep pushing along. I mean, we've been saying that, and it's kind of cool to see us just come back and do our thing.
I love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And the bat's coming alive. Wiz grounds one to Agbayani, who has been perfect out there at second base. So 8 batters come to the plate for Oklahoma City in the 5th. Sid Romero with a big 3-run blast. We got a ball game. It's 8-6 as we head to the 6th. Good look at the moon over Oklahoma City. Lights are on in the field. The sun is setting, and the Spark bats have come alive with 6 runs in the last 2 innings. They had fallen behind 7-0 in this game after losing 14-0 last night. And Sid Romero with the 3-run shot to get them to within 2 runs as Morgan Zirkle leads things off for Chicago in the 6th inning. Pam Ward, Natasha Watley, and Nicole Mendez joining you from Oklahoma City, the closer of a 2-game series. Mighty swing and a miss.
But just listening to Sydney Sherrill and Sydney Romero just both say how they're just competing, staying positive, especially after a day like yesterday. It is hard to come back, but if you're any bit of a competitor, like these are the games where you're like, hey, you know, if nothing's going our way, let's just put it together.
Zirkle gets the bunt down. Sydney Sherrill quickly in from 3rd, but Zirkle was just able to beat it out.
And I am telling you, Morgan Zirkle is so fast. This ball is a hard hit bunt, and Sydney Sherrill was already shaded in and ready to go. But Morgan Zirkle just too fast. So fast.
And another close play. Sherrill playing 3rd tonight again because Jesse Warren got hurt yesterday and is on the injured list. So Sherrill goes from 2nd to 3rd. A couple of Florida State former teammates reunited in Oklahoma City. Poco looking for her first hit.
And they're still in this ball game, the Spark, down by 2. And just them being resilient, staying together, staying positive, and just chipping away at the game a little bit at a time and not trying to take on too much. They've been impressive to watch tonight.
Yeah, not hanging their heads, especially after last night. And the play made by Romero. So Sydney Romero following up the home run with some great defense.
Yeah, I mean, just pump me up. I love it. And just knowing where you are on the field, Sydney Romero, I mean, makes this look so easy. Routine play for her, routine play for anybody, but especially when you need that momentum shift, no better time.
And the presence of mind to know, hey, I have time. You saw she didn't panic.
Right.
Stepped on second, made the great throw to get your Poco and get the double play. And now it's 2 out and nobody on for Erickson. So Jacopo grounding into that double play.
And this is supposed to be a screw. And that just crosses up. Laney Woods goes in on Erickson.
Erickson always crowds the plate, and that time she got hit by the pitch.
Coach Stanton just making sure that Erickson is okay. This is a rise in, so she's just staying in and tight on Erickson. Erickson crowding the plate on the plate. So just trying to get a little respect, trying to get her to back off a bit.
And it was hit by a pitch in her last at bat, what was called back to the batter's box when she was hit on that front arm in the strike zone. The ball was in the strike zone, so it counted as a strike. And she ended up singling, at that time got hit. Now Taryn Kern falling behind 0-2. Back-to-back. Nope. Back-to-back hit batters, but let's see what the home plate umpire, Lyndon Baptiste, has to say. I think he's going to say the same thing, right, with Kern?
Yep, he's telling her to come back.
So Shonda Stanton making her case.
She's not happy about that one. This is her curve. And again, the umpire saying, hey, that potentially could have been called a strike or called a strike.
So that was indeed a strike against Kern. And then she goes towards the outside part of the plate. Penna doing a good job, just lasted a third of an inning yesterday and gave up 5 runs, all earned. Full count with 2 away. Erickson over at first. And that time she is going to get hit by the pitch. But again, a 3-ball count. So back-to-back hit batters for Penta.
And that is not in the strike zone, and that's right at Kern, and she does not have to get out the way. Or attempt to get out the way.
Right. So the double play had the bases empty with 2 outs. Erickson and Kern hit by pitches, and Penta goes out, and Jalen Ford is coming back in. Ford lasted 2 innings in relief of starter Maya Johnson, gave up a couple of runs through 50 pitches. And something different here is it's She was not the starting pitcher, and each player can be substituted for once and come back in, and that's what Ford is doing. Have you followed the AU Pro Shop on Instagram yet? Stay in the loop with new arrivals, restock alerts, giveaways, and exclusive promos you don't want to miss. You can connect with the merch team for all the latest drops and game day gear on Instagram at AU Pro Shop. So darkness has descended here in Oklahoma City. And Ford coming in for the second time. And she will face Bella Dayton, who has a hit tonight and has scored a couple of runs. Dayton goes after the first pitch.
And although Penta and Ford both throwing rise, just a different sharpness on Jalen Ford's rise. Penta's more of like a gradual upspin, but Ford just very sharp with that rise ball.
To Dayton with 2 on. Sends it foul again. What a job by Ford to come in and get Dayton to strike out and strand a couple of runners. 8-6. OKC coming to bat in the bottom of the 6th. For OKC, who were down 7-0 in this game. And it's coming alive against Kat Sandercock and then Amber Pfizer. And now another pitcher, the third pitcher that Chicago has used tonight. First time we've seen Taylor McQuillan this weekend. And we want to, Bubba Nichols leading things off. Our thanks to Miralax, an official partner of the AUSL. So we got to take a look at Sid Romero's home run, and now we have McQuillan in the circle.
Yes, and McQuillan is the veteran lefty for the Bandits. She can throw to all planes. She's can throw in the upper 60s. That changeup that she's been throwing is around 54. She'll go curve, drop, rise, screw.
Nichols Camarena 0 for 2 so far tonight, and that one sails high. And just to correct myself, this is not a true dirt infield. It's artificial, like a turf infield as well, so we're not seeing any dirt.
Yeah, it's all turf. It's all turf. It's just the color of turf.
Yes.
I mean, sorry, the color of dirt, so that's what throws you off a little bit, but it's all turf. Take a look, yep, all turf.
And we saw Pfizer change her cleats because of that.
Right.
No, it's an optical illusion. It is
Yes.
a dirt-like substance.
Yes, yes.
But turf.
Yes.
Oh, McQuillan surrenders a leadoff walk to Nichols Camarena.
And this is going to be important for the Bandits. Not giving up free bases here. But I like this change from Pfizer to McQuillan. McQuillan just has equipped with so many different pitches, so many different looks from the left side.
Amari Harper singled her last time up. And that was against Sandercock, second of the last batter that Kat faced before she was lifted up in the air, and it's dropped by Erickson.
Yes. So these were the things that weren't really happening for the Spark yesterday. Like nothing was going their way. So these are the things that you start to feed off of. If you are the Spark, I'm digging in, and we are in this game.
And that won't get the job done as Mac Barbara fielded the ball. Nobody there to cover first, so everybody's safe. Harper at first, Nichols Camarena at second.
And again, Mac Barbara is playing behind the bag, so just hard for her to make that read on that. But if she were playing kind of at the bag or in front, that should be Agbayani's ball so that you have someone covering at first base.
Harper's infield single sets it up for Sydney Sherrill, who hit a 2-run homer her last time up. And if Sherrill goes yard again, Oklahoma City's going to have the lead. That's how weird this game has been. Looks like OKC was down for the count like they were yesterday, but kept chipping away, chasing pitchers. Took a little off that one to get the swing. Jocelyn Erickson, by the way, has been given an error for dropping that foul ball that kept the at-bat alive for Harper. So Sydney Sherrill last time up.
And just getting it done at the plate, staying together. The Spark has had some incredible ABs today, some good adjustments from yesterday, and they were hitting it right at people, but today they get it through.
Literally hit right at McQuillan that time. And Sydney Sherrill has loaded the bases. The ball hasn't left the infield, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. That's Lexi Kilfoyle, who we talked to earlier in the game today, who pitched the complete game yesterday to get the win. And now Kilfoyle is going to come in. And they're also going to make a change at catcher. Mary Jacopo, who took a ball to face yesterday on a pitch and was DPing, is now back catching.
Yeah, talk about my hero right now, just how hard she got hit yesterday. The fact that she's even in the game today and just being a warrior for this Bandit team just speaks volumes to her. Just such a fighter. And a good pair with Lexi Kilfoyle.
So Jocelyn Erickson, who had been catching, now moves to play first base for Chicago, who calling on Kilfoyle, whose debut yesterday was a good one. 5 innings, just gave up 4 hits, no runs, only had to throw 71 pitches as she came back from overseas.
Yeah, Lexi Kilfoyle yesterday was just so efficient. Only 2 Ks on the day, but just really using her defense behind her. Just that drop was so effective. A very heavy drop. She was definitely making it move yesterday.
Both coaches having to pull out really all the stops to get through this game. Kilfoyle is the 4th Chicago pitcher we have seen tonight, and Taylor McQuillan faced 3 batters without getting an out. Walk, infield single, followed by one right up the middle that hit off of McQuillan. And the Spark coming into this inning trailing 8-6. They have this season they have not won a game. 0-6 when trailing after 5 innings. So they're trying to get their first late comeback. There's Helena Vaughter there on the left. Tasia Gould, another pitcher, pardon me, also trying to get things going. First pitch, and they go right home, and then the double play as Jacopo is able to throw it down to get the double play. Heads up all the way around on defense.
And this is what Lexi Kilfoyle does so well. She induces a lot of ground balls, just a heavy break with that drop ball, but stays within herself, and a 1, 2, 3 double play.
Yeah, you don't see that every day of the week. So one out, one pitch, 2 outs for Kilfoyle on the double play. Sets up Grace Jenkins. Runners now on second and third with 2 away. And that's down the line, but foul.
The home plate umpire has that call and has the best view on the field for that. And right out the gate, he was making that call. And definitely from up here, looked like it was a foul ball, but the fans here not happy about it. But that's foul.
Clearly foul. A job by Harper to kind of hurdle over it, because if the ball hits her in fair territory, she would be out.
Changeup is dirty.
Such a game changer, having a good changeup. Bandits have left 9 on. Spark have not left anyone on yet. Until right now, Kilfoyle comes in and puts out the fire. A double play ball and then the strikeout of Jenkins.
Lexi Kilfoyle just coming in and doing a job, coming in with no outs, and able to nub the Spark with this double play here and gets herself out of a jam.
Welcome back, going to the 7th with the Bandits leading the Spark 8-6, and we want to send our thoughts out to our camera operator. One of them tonight, Andy Gibson, had an incident here in Edmond earlier during this broadcast. Andy, hang in there, buddy. We're wishing you a speedy recovery. He's a local guy. His family is with him, and we're just hoping for all the best for these camera operators, all the technical people who have to be out here in this extreme heat, hard work. So our thoughts are with you, to Andy and his family, as we head to the 7th in what has been a crazy game. Ailana Agbayani leading things off against Jalen Ford, who is pitching for the 2nd time in this game. Four pitchers, for each team. Agbayani back to Ford, who flips to get the out, and that's the first time that Agbayani has been retired tonight. A single, a 2-run homer, and a walk, and also a couple 2-3 plays out there at second base that made Natasha Wadley very happy. See that middle infield work?
Putting on a clinic tonight. Making it look really, really easy. Both sides of the plate, too.
And we go to Skylar Wallace in the top of the order. Singled and scored back in the 2nd. Also an RBI sac fly. And you see the Skylar Wallace with a couple of home runs and a double yesterday, coming back from Japan, and Nicole Mendez had a chance to talk to her a couple of times, and she kept emphasizing coming back from Japan just how comfortable she was being back here playing in the States.
Yeah, and just communication just being such a key indicator for her.
Good play going back on the grass by Roos. But the first time for, Skylar going over, they were playing in Japan, obviously very different from the U.S., the language being a major barrier, and you know that better than anybody. You played there for 8 years, and you actually picked up the language. But just talk about what that transition must have been like, and almost like an isolation if you're out that far away from home.
Able to communicate with your teammates, you're completely relying on your translator to relay all communication to you, and so sometimes you just feel like you're all alone. And if you just think about it, even if you're not in a conversation here and you're in the dugout, you can hear your teammates talking about the game and hear what's going on. When you're there, you're completely almost blinded to what the conversations are going on in the game, and so it's hard to pick up on just those simple things that you kind of take for granted. And when you're here, you're like, oh my gosh, I can hear again, I can communicate again. And sometimes too, just the strike zone there is so tough, and it's hard to make that adjustment. The Japanese pitchers hit their corners, and sometimes it feels like it's a little bit wide, and so you're like, I can't hit here, what's going on? And so completely can relate with Skylar, just getting back here, being comfortable, and kind of getting back to her way again.
Yeah, finding the joy again. It would be tough for everybody, being that far from home. And so grateful to come back. Here's Sammy Williams, who has another couple of doubles tonight, leading the league in hitting, and she draws the 2-out walk. Second time she's walked. You could understand why pitchers want to be careful with her.
Coming to the plate, designated player number 31, Mac Barbara.
Now Mac Barbara. Peel down, no swing. Definitely a swing that time for Barbara.
Barbara she does not get cheated on her hacks. She swings big every single time.
Foul past Cheryl down at third. Barbara came up in a big situation in the 5th inning. Maggie Penta came in, gave up a walk to load the bases, and Barbara grounded out to third to end the inning, leave the bases loaded. And Oklahoma City has come back with some runs to make it a close ball game. Barbara cannot believe that was called a strike. It was, and she has struck out as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. And that's who's coming up. Andrews McKinney and the home run hitter, Sydney Romero, due up. So 2/3 of the Sydneys have homered tonight for Oklahoma City. Only McKinney has not done that, and we will see Sid Romero bat third. And a pinch hitter, Haley Lee, leading off, pinch hitting for Billy Andrews, who was struck out and had a sacrifice bunt in this game.
And in these moments, the spark are going to Haley Lee, who's leading the team in strikeouts. She's leading with 13, but at these moments, it's like you're trying to throw everything out there. Right now, everybody's trying to compete. So, hey, give it a shot.
Mighty swing and a miss. Lexi Kilfoyle in the circle, who came in with runners on base in the 6th inning. Got a double play and a strikeout to strand a couple. Lee lifts one into center field, but not far enough. Handled by Zirkle for the first out of the 7th. And now to the top of the order, the Sydney McKinney, who has a couple of singles. Both of those off of Kat Sandercock, who started. And we have seen 3 more pitchers since. Kilfoyle got the win yesterday with the 5-inning shutout, winning 14-0. The 7th complete game shutout in AUSL history. 5 of those 7 complete game shutouts have come this year, including Kilfoyle's last night. Skylar Wallace, 2 outs. And here comes Sid Romero.
Now batting the shortstop, number 2, Sydney Romero.
Boy, Kilfoyle's looked really good the last couple of nights.
Yeah, she just does such a good job of changing speeds, and she tunnels that drop and that changeup, so hard to decipher between the two.
In the dirt, Kilfoyle picked up the win yesterday and now trying to pick up a save tonight. What a way to start the season after she came back from playing in Japan.
Yeah, she looks solid. Just complete control, great command on the pitches.
Kilfoyle last year, #1 overall pick in the inaugural draft, led the league in appearances, tied for first with wins. And trying to complete a really good weekend and a 2-game sweep. That's out of play, I believe. No, in play, but unreachable, pardon me. For Erickson, retreating back. Jacopo again behind the plate. Jocelyn Erickson now playing first. Eight runs on 12 hits and 2 errors for Chicago. 6 runs on 8 hits and no errors for the Spark, as that misses. Now 25 hits in 2 games for for Chicago, and 22 runs. Strike 3 called. Kilfoyle picks up the save after getting the complete game shutout win yesterday. Got him out of a jam in the last inning and closes it out tonight.
Lexi Kilfoyle, definitely the difference between yesterday and today for the Chicago Bandits, and just looks so good on the mound leading the Bandits today.